Hey, and welcome back to Ancient Ways from Modern Days. My name is Mike Freeman. Thanks for joining me as we continue to walk down this path that's leading toward Jesus' crucifixion. Now, we are in John chapter 18, and what we've seen so far this week, we've seen Peter's denials, we've seen Jesus being tried before Annas, who is the previous high priest, and then he's been taken to the house of Caiaphas, the current high priest, the son-in-law of Annas, and that's where our story picks up today, where they're preparing to take Jesus to stand before Pilate. Now let's jump into the text, chapter 18, beginning in verse 28. It says, "Then they led Jesus from the house of Caiaphas to the governor's headquarters. It was early morning. They themselves did not enter the governor's headquarters so that they would not be defiled, but could eat the Passover." They weren't going to go into this unclean ground and interact with this Gentile in such a way that would make them ceremonially unclean so that they would not be able to participate in the Passover celebration. Remember, this is an incredible weekend for the Jewish people. Verse 29, "So Pilate went outside and said to them, 'What accusation do you bring against this man? What's going on here? What are you accusing him of?' They answered him." This is just, it's almost comical. "If this man were not doing evil, we would not have delivered him over to you." Pilate says, "What is the accusation?" And they say, "Hey, obviously he's evil. We brought him to you." They don't actually give the accusation. Well, Pilate said to them, "Take him yourselves and judge him by your own law." He understands this is a religious matter of some sort, so go and take care of it yourselves, right? You should handle this in-house. Well, here's the problem. The Jews said to him, "It is not lawful for us to put anyone to death." This was to fulfill the word that Jesus had spoken to show by what kind of death he was going to die. They're unwilling to handle this in-house because they're not just looking for Jesus to be punished. They're looking for Jesus to be executed. And to have that happen, it has to go through the Romans. It has to go through Pilate. And they know that if he is executed, this is going to be an execution through crucifixion. This is the plan. This is God's plan. Jesus knows this is God's plan. The Jews are conspiring. This is their plan. They don't realize that they're being folded into the plan of God. But this is all leading to the crucifixion of Jesus. Now, this text reminds us that Jesus is in fact innocent. This is the crucifixion not of a man who is being charged with sedition because he has plans to overthrow the Roman government and kick them out of Israel. Eventually that will happen. That's not his plan here. This is not what he's been preaching. No, this is a man who is innocent. He has committed no crime. The Jews, we have seen for a number of chapters, they are dead set on murdering him because of jealousy. Because Jesus is revealing himself. Jesus has done sign after sign showing that he is the Son of God, that he is the Messiah, but they have hard hearts, and their hearts are so hard that they want to see a man who is innocent put to death. Now, what does this remind us of? This just reminds us of the wickedness that exists in and of our own hearts. Without Christ, we can rationalize any sin. They can rationalize murder. We can rationalize any sin. It just reminds us of our desperate need for Jesus. The one they need is the one they're accusing. The one who is pure is the one that they're going to murder. This reminds us of how we are part of that same crowd. In our sin, in our rebellion, we can rationalize it all day long, but ultimately what we need is this innocent man, Jesus, who died in our place, who died to pay the price for our sins. This moment is simply a moment of reminding us of the importance of the gospel, of Jesus in his perfect life, in his sacrificial death, and then ultimately his victorious resurrection. See, the ancient way for our modern days is a gentle, clear reminder of our guilt and of God's grace. I want you today to take some time to remember that. Take some time to go before the Lord and thank him that even when you were a sinner, Jesus was willing to die that terrible death on the cross for you. Take the time to thank him. Remember him. Rest in him. This is our ancient way for our modern day.